Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. How is everybody today? Just going to wait for some people to get in here, and then we are going to start. There's some pretty ridiculous filings again in the Lori Vallow Chad Daybell case, and we're going to go over that and briefly read through what was filed. Good morning, Teresa and Hotshot. Hello. So there's been some stuff filed, and I don't know. We're going to go over it, and I'm going to see what you guys think. Hello, Deborah, Janine, stay-at-home mom. Hello, good morning. Good afternoon for those who are in afternoon, and good evening for those who are in evening zone. California. I wish I was in California right now. It is so chilly here. It's unreal. Hello, Marie. And good morning. Hello, Bonnie. We're going to wait for some of the mods to get in here, and then we are going to start. Like I said, there's been a filing for motions. There's Cindy. Hello, Cindy, and happy belated birthday. I hope you had a great day. And then once we get through that, we'll chit-chat a little bit about that, and then we'll just open it up and chit-chat about whatever you guys want to chit-chat about for a bit. Hello, Be Kind and Anne. Good morning and good afternoon. Good evening to everyone in the different time zones. Hello, Barefoot. You're very welcome, Cindy. Hello, Mama Bear. Oh, I wish it was even 65 here today, stay-at-home mom. It's chilly. So yes, so what I was saying, we're going to go over what Mark Means has filed. He wants he wants to disqualify the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. So this is going to be interesting, you guys. I haven't read through it all, so I'm going to be learning a lot of this right along with you guys. Rain. Yes, Teresa. Hello, Teresa. And yeah, it's been a lot of rain and dampness and everything here too, which I mean comes with fall, but it's been overly cool here lately. So I've got my little heater on to keep my feet warm. Hello, Be Kind. Oh, that's so sweet of you. There you go. I'm going to put that up for everybody to see. Our beautiful mod, Cindy. It was her birthday the other day. So we're going to go over that. And then what I'm going to do, I know there's a lot of things that have been coming out in some of the other cases with the Larry Millete, with the Brian Laundrie. So after this, we will open it up. We'll have a little chit chat about what you guys think about what Mark Means has filed. And hello, Miss Tina. And we will then open it up after that to chit chat about whatever you guys would like to chit chat about. Also, I want to let you guys know that I've been getting a lot of requests for the memberships to come back. So the memberships are coming back. They will probably be available as of Monday. There's two different levels this time. There's the first level with the emojis and stuff like that, and you start earning your wings. And the longer that you are a member, you become a full angel, but you start off with getting your wings. You'll be able to see all that on Monday. And then the second level is going to be all of that, what you get in your first level. Plus, I'm going to have members only chats, lives, where I'm going to be doing card pulls or maybe a sweatshirt giveaway, but there's going to be something special every month for you guys there too, as well as private members only chat for your level. Okay, so it'll only be the people at that level that will be getting like free mini pulls or pendulum questions or free giveaways for merch, stuff like that. So that's all coming on Monday. It will be available again. But everybody starts with gaining your wings. I'm not sure if the people who were members before, if you have to start over again. I don't know. We'll only know that once it launches on Monday. So watch for that on Monday, you guys. It's going to be something really special. So 37. I wish I was 37 again, Cindy. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, so let's get started, you guys. My sister should be popping in at any time. So let's get going. I'm going to start with sharing this, you guys. Let's get going. I'm going to start with sharing this, you guys. Okay. I don't know what I just did. Let's get going. I'm going to start. Okay, and I'm going to go full screen. This, you guys. Okay, what did I just do? I don't know what I just did. Let's get going. I'm going to start. Wait a minute, you guys. I messed up somewhere. Okay. I messed up. What else is new? There we go. There we go. Okay, so let me just get this back up now, you guys. I need to get this up so I can monitor what's going on here. I need my live control room. There we go. Okay, so everybody can see this. One in the chat, please, if you guys can all hear me and see this before we start. And then we're going to start going through this. I'm not going to go through the whole document, you guys, because a lot of it is also what they filed when Lori was sent to the facility, and we've already seen all that. If you haven't, please go to click on the video tab at the top of my YouTube page, and you'll be able to see all the videos that I've done. Okay, great. Everybody can hear and see. Great. So let's go through this. This was filed on the 27th of October, you guys, and Mark Means is wanting, there was a hearing on the 21st, but it was not available to the public because there was things that were being discussed about other motions that are coming up. So I guess it wasn't available for the public. So this is what he's filed as of the 27th, and I'm waiting for the court date on this. And then if you guys would like to see that court date, I will stream it for you, okay? Now, my cough has got a lot better, so let's hope we don't have any problems here, okay? So Mark Means has filed this. He wants a motions hearing, a motion for the state to disclose the Brady violations, motion for criminal depositions, motion for out-of-state subpoenas, and motion to disqualify the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. This is the one that I'm basically more concerned about, okay? But we will get into it. Okay, so he states, comes now the defendant, Lori Daybell, by and through her attorney of record, Mark Means of Means Law, and hereby moves the court as follows. A motion to disclose communications, including but not limited to the Brady violation disclosures, motion for criminal depositions, and motion for out-of-state subpoena, and motion to disqualify the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, and any further relief as discovered through the above motion production and disclosures as become evident, okay? So he's going to give a rundown here, okay? On or about June 8th, 2021, this court entered an order of commitment regarding the above defendant. Now, that's the part that I'm not going to go through today. I'll scroll through it. So if you guys do want to pause and, read through it at the end of the live, then you're able to do so. But I mean, we've already gone through all that before. Okay, and there's also little highlights here that are discussed at the end. Okay, so on or about June 8th, the court entered an order of commitment regarding the above defendant, Ms. Lori Daybell. Said defendant was further committed to the custody and control of the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. hereafter IDHW, and has remained in their control and custody since that date. Okay. So on or about the 10th, 15th of 21, I met with the defendant, Ms. Daybell, in person at the committed site under the control of IDHW. During this discussion, it was brought to my attention of unethical and possible illegal activity, discussions, disclosures, and manipulation of the incompetent defendant. Prior to the said meeting, defendant was and currently is being treated by a clinician. Okay, so we're gonna refer to this clinician as NC. Okay, so anywhere this is stated, I'm just gonna say NC. Okay, so it was treated by NC, believed to be employed by the IDHW, hereby identified as NC. They're not going to give the person's name. I'm just going to try and turn that off for now because it's really irritating. So on or about October 5th, 2021, the said NC and the defendant were engaged in watching. And NC, this is the person who is treating her, okay? Were engaged in watching the transfer of trial motion regarding defendant Mr. Chad Daybell. During this hearing, NC recommended to the defendant that she contact the Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints, okay, hereinafter LDS, legal counsel to discuss her case and possibly obtain legal counsel to assist her instead of her state-appointed public defender. Okay, good morning, sister. Okay, so in here, if you want to read through these, it's basically, we know what it's about already, but if you want to read through them, you can. And you'll see there's like footnotes here, like this number 5, and then it's down here. Okay. So number 5 was believed to be legally identified as the corporation of the presiding bishop of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which operates as a tax-exempt church-affiliated corporation organized and existing under the law of the state of Utah, hereafter referred to as church or corporation. Okay, so we left off up here that they gave her counsel to discuss and possibly obtain legal counsel to assist her instead of her state-appointed public defender. NC took the recommendation further and then provided the defendant with the direct telephone number to contact LDS Church Council and issued an order. Okay, so this is the person, this NC is the person who is her physician that's working with her, okay? And there's certain things that she has to do, like they give her homework type stuff that she has to do, and it's going to be explained here, okay? So they ordered her that this was part of the defendant's homework for her treatment. NC checked in with the defendant to ensure this assignment was completed. NC told the defendant it was a good idea to call the LDS Corporation. The defendant would not have done this on her own without the prodding of the IDHW employee NC. Defendant stated repeatedly she did not want to call LDS Church Corporation, but for mandatory nature of homework, would not have made the call or the disclosures. So if she hadn't have been forced and said that she has to do this as part of her treatment, she would never have done it, is what she's saying. Defendant was forced and or manipulated by those in position of authority and control of her incarceration. Example, every move, action, inactions, treatment, and of the like. So sometime soon after this mandatory homework assignment was issued to the defendant and the LDS telephone number was provided to the defendant called the LDS Church headquarters in Salt Lake City, Utah. Defendant spoke with a female receptionist and asked to speak with the LDS Church legal counsel. The receptionist asked whom this was, and the defendant disclosed that she was seeking legal assistance with her criminal case and that her name was Lori Vallow Daybell. The receptionist then transferred the defendant to an attorney believed to be one of many LDS Church Corporation legal counsel, a Miss Daniel S. McConkey. Okay, and here are the footnotes again. You can read them if you like after the video. The defendant introduced herself to Mr. Conkey by name and made Brady violation disclosures under the guise that the church was her friend and that they were there to assist her in both temporal and spiritual matters directly regarding her current criminal state of affairs and legal matters. Mr. Conkey bragged about his 30-plus years of criminal litigation as a prosecutor and told defendant that he knew every detail of her case. This led the defendant to make disclosures she would not have without these assurances. Mr. Conkey, as legal counsel for the LDS Church, never advised defendant of a possible conflict of interest that he was not licensed in Idaho to practice law, possible Brady violations, impossibility of his representation in her Idaho criminal matter, nor that his conversation with her would not be protected under attorney-client privilege. The defendant believed it to be protected confidential by rules of the spiritual world. Defendant describes Mr. Conkey as eager to discuss her case. Only after certain disclosures were made by the defendant, Mr. Conkey told her that he would assist her with her finding an attorney that could legally practice law in Idaho and possibly provide her assistance with her matter. Mr. Conkey said he would get back to her. Mr. Conkey never got, and here's the footnotes again, never got back to her, but instead called prosecutor Mr. Wood to discuss the matter and the conversation and disclose the statements of the defendant. Now that is messed up, like really messed up. Sorry for the cough. Sometime after this conversation between Mr. Wood and Mr. Conkey, Mr. Wood called attorney Archibald to disclose minimally this conversation, limiting the conversation with Mr. Archibald that the defendant only told Mr. Conkey that she wishes for a new, not stated appointed attorney. Following this conversation between Mr. Conkey and the defendant told IDHW NC that she made said phone call, at which NC said, "Good." The defendant then relayed to NC at a later time that she too had told her legal counsel, Mr. Means, of the encouragement to the call and the conversation. NC response was, "No, you didn't," and was described as having a concerned look on her face. Again, the defendant Leah's publicly well-documented obsessions with the LDS Church and her controlling belief of its divine origins and truth in its religious matters, to the point that the LDS Church and its legal counsel and the like can control, manipulate the court system, judges, prosecution, and the like in this very case. The imbalance and or unrealistic belief of defendant appears to have been purposely used against the defendant to engage and or act against her own self-interest and without supervision of her attorney, Mark Means. This behavior by those with power and authority over the defendant are believed to have engaged unethical, legal, and psychological rules of ethics, possible illegal actions and or violations that drastically affect the due process rights of the defendant. These behaviors are, as they appear, abhorrent and blatant manipulation of the incompetent defendant. Furthermore, the LDS Church has embedded itself into this case by way of its public statement dated 8/4/21 and has incentives to disavow connection between the defendant and its church. The statement of, "I know all the details of your case," by an attorney with 30-plus years of experience to an incompetent defendant with LDS ties plays on defendant's self-evident irrationality and belief in the LDS Church Corporation doctrine and leaders. Mr. Conkey has made himself a witness to this matter, as well as opened the doors of the LDS Church to be obligated to produce all internal and external memorandums, notes, emails, recordings, texts, voicemails, and the like regarding their dealings with the state prosecution and the defendant. In addition, the prosecution has been allowed to attempted manipulation of essential witnesses with the use of LDS Church scripture, LDS language, and LDS positions of power, including but not limited to essential witnesses Melanie Gibb, David Warwick, and April Raymond. This includes informal court proceedings. And here are the footnotes to that. It strains credulity to ignore the facts that the LDS Church and its legal counsel are possibly involved and or working with the state prosecution, IDHW, at least in this instance, to manipulate defendant to be forced and manipulated into statements in her interests. These behaviors, if true, are clearly unethical and possible illegal activities to undermine the defendant's constitutionally protected rights. A detailed and exhaustive investigation into this matter is a must for the defendant's rights to expose nefarious activities of person elected or appointed to purse justice, not manipulate an incompetent defendant into submission is required and requested by order of this court, including but not limited to the following. A motion for state disclosure. Motion for state to disclose communications, including but not limited to the Brady violations disclosures. Okay. And it lists everything here that he wants, like the telephone calls, everything. Okay. So again, like anything that the health and welfare and the prosecution have discussed, or the LDS Church has discussed, he wants that. He wants an order. A motion for criminal deposition, out-of-state subpoenas. So he wants a deposition of Mr. Robert Wood and prosecutors and witnesses, deposition of Miss NC, and any further official or agent of IDHW involved in this matter. Out-of-state deposition of attorney and witnesses, Mr. Robert Conkley, in Utah attorney, and any other LDS official or persons that were privy to the conversation between McConkley and the defendant. Whether the call between McConkley and the defendant or spoke with McConkley after the fact. Authorization and issuance of out-of-state subpoenas for all the above to the LDS Church and its agents, state prosecution and its agents, and orders for the prosecution all cited above. Okay, so number 3 would be to disqualify Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, disqualification of NC and any other IDHW official agents from treatment and or involvement with the defendant, an order issuing orders of conduct for the IDHW officials and or its agents to protect the defendant and her rights, an order for oversight of defense counsel for all future treatment and the like provided by the state prosecution and or its agents, including but not limited to IDHW. Any further relief as discovered through the above mentioned production disclosure as become evident. Furthermore, defendant hereby objects to any ex parte and or sua sponte sealing this matter. The state prosecution has routinely filed motions to seal as a tool that was historically used in rare and unusual circumstances to resolve issues that may be sensitive in nature. Defendant hereby objects to any attempt by the state and prosecution to seal this matter, as it should be resolved in a public forum. So he wants everybody to know what the state has done and what this person that is treating Lori, NC, from the mental facility that she's being treated at, he wants this all out in the open. Okay? So that's what it is. That's what's been shared by Mark Means. And this is going to be going to a motions hearing. So, I mean, in a way, you guys, if this is true, that this person that is treating her said, you have to follow certain homework things that we give you, certain rules, you have to take certain medications. If she's ordered to do this, as per her treatment, there's a problem if this is true. And then for that person to give her the number and tell her to call LDS and speak to an attorney there to try and get her to change attorneys or whatever they were trying to do there is totally wrong. I don't think Cheryl Berry says Means out here trying to stall the process. No, if this is true, Cheryl, this is a major violation. Okay. Now, with her contacting this LDS, and if this LDS person pretending to be a lawyer that could help her and all this, then calls Rob Wood, who is the prosecuting attorney, no, there's a major issue if this is true. Yes, it would be on NC, Vera Ray. Okay, so this is going to be, NC is the one who is, and it would be on IDHW too, because this person is employed by IDHW. So if this person said that you have to do this because this is part of your treatment, or made any indications to that you need to contact these people, then there are serious issues here. So yes, this is coming from a woman who believed her children were zombies. So what I'm going to say with this, and I'm going to give you my best breakdown that I can from a legal point. If, and this is a big if this is true, don't forget Mark Means is filing this, which this is one of the first filings that I agree with, if this is true. But you got to understand that he got this information from Lori. Okay? Lori is telling him this information. Now, if it is true and she was forced to do this, and this was part of her homework that NC said she had to do, then there is a big problem. A big problem. Yeah, a big problem. So I believe that there's going to have to be some kind of proof that this was actually done, that this was actually ordered for her to do. There has to be some kind of paperwork. They had to have given her something with a list of things that she has to do. Also, there's other ways she could have gotten that phone number and done this herself and tried to blame them as to manipulate them. We don't know. We're not going to know until the judge comes back with a ruling. The judge is going to rule. The prosecution has submitted their own motion that they want this all sealed. They don't want it public knowledge, this hearing on this. And the defense is saying, no, no, no. We want all the public to be able to see this. So the judge is going to have a ruling on that, you guys. And then we're going to see if we're going to be able to see this. Because I know the court case on the 21st was sealed. So we couldn't see that. But we don't know. We don't know what's going on here. Yes, Emily. There should be some kind of recording of this interaction with her and NC, with Lori and NC. Hello, Crime and Justice. Hello, everybody coming in. Shabani, Rosie, Nana. Hello, everybody that I missed coming in. Vera Ray. Hello, everybody. I am trying to say hello to everybody as you're coming in. So it's going to be interesting, you guys. They're going to have a motions hearing on this. I don't know if all the interactions with this NC, if they are, hello, Rosie. Oh, you're so sweet. If these are recorded, I would assume that they are either visually and audio or just audio, or audio and video. If it's recorded, I would assume there would have to be. But this is going to be interesting. And like I said, if this did happen, you guys, this is a serious issue. And like I said, if this is true that this happened, this is one of the first motions that I will agree with Mark Means filing. But we're going to have to find out first if this is actually true, if her caseworker, who is identified here as NC, if NC ordered her to do this, that this was part of her homework, or gave leading things like, oh, you should maybe contact them and maybe they could help you more. Like she's there because of this idealistic thing that she has with the LDS and their preachings. This is why she's incompetent right now. So if you're trying to get her away from that to make her competent and get those ideals and things that she thinks is true coming from the LDS community, you're trying to get her away from that. Why would you suggest that she contact them? So there's a lot at stake here, you guys. Yep, Miss Tina, I'm on the fence about it right now. Like I said, if this is true, and we can't forget that this is what Lori has told her lawyer, Mark Means. Is it true? If it can be proven to be true that this person that works with her, her counselor or whatever you call them, NC, if they did suggest this to her, there's some problems. There's a big issue here. And if it is true that this person did tell her to contact somebody at the LDS church, then I agree with Mark Means filing this. But the thing is it true? It's coming right now from Lori. Is it true? So it's going to be interesting, you guys. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's hit 1 if you think that this actually happened, or if this hit 2 if you think this is something Lori is making up? I'm going to wait and see what you could, because I have something to say to it. What do you guys think? Number 1, this actually happened, or number 2, Lori is lying to Mark Means about it, that it didn't happen? Yeah, that's what I thought. I am more leaning towards 2, that she is kind of making this up. And I'm going to tell you something. If this can be proven that Lori is making this up, this could go against her. Okay? This could get her back in court faster, because if she could mastermind something like this, then she ain't incompetent. Okay? Hi, Chartreuse Seeker. Nice to see you. Boomer Sooner, baby. Nice to Laura. Hello, Patrice. Everybody coming in. Yeah. So I am more leaning towards number 2 also. But this is the thing, you guys. If she did make this up, which I'm leaning towards she did, because right now all Mark Means can go on is what Lori is telling him. If she did mastermind this plan to try and cause havoc again, then she's not incompetent. And she's going to find her butt right back in court real quick. Okay? This is going to give them the ammunition that they need to say, this is her playing games. If she could mastermind something like this, she's competent. Okay? And this may go to prove that she is faking her incompetency. Okay? Because it takes somebody with their scruples there to try and mastermind a plan like this to try and get everything thrown out against her, right? Right. She's evil. Absolutely, Rosie, she's evil. But think about that, you guys. If this is a master plan of hers to get rid of her clinician, okay, this NC, who is working with her to bring her back to competency, if she could mastermind a plan against to get that person off her case and have a lawsuit against the facility, that's a master plan. That would go to prove that she is not incompetent. Right? So by her doing this, if this is not true, by her mastering this plan, she could have just blown her incompetency right out of the water, and she may be back in court faster than we can blink an eye. So I hope to God that the prosecution is all over that. If this is proven that this is a plan that she mastered, I hope the prosecution jumps all over that to get her back in court and get her back facing these charges. Please let them go down that route. Yeah, heard it here first. That's what I would do if I was the prosecutor. If this is proved to be something that Lori made up and mastermind something to try and, sue this hospital and sue this person taking her case and everything else, that would be the first thing I would say. She is not incompetent. Your Honor, let's get her back in court. That's number one. The first thing that I would do if this is proven to be false, that she made this up. What do you guys think? Do you think that the prosecution is going to go down with that? I know if I was the prosecutor, that's the first thing that once this is heard, these motions are heard, and if it comes out that she masterminded this plan, the first thing I would be saying as a prosecutor, she's not incompetent. Let's get her back in court. What do you guys think? I'm anxious to hear what you guys think. Yes. She used her brother as a personal hitman, and then I believe had him murdered too. Yes. Crime and Justice says, I think she's playing games with everyone to stall her court proceedings. But the thing is, like I just said, Crime and Justice, if they can prove that she masterminded this, if I was the prosecutor on this case, I would be saying to the judge, Your Honor, she is far from incompetent. Back in court she goes. No more nice, cushiony bed with good meals and everything else. Back to the jail she goes. And let's get this show on the road. Rosie, throw the whole encyclopedia at her. Baby Boomer agrees. What do you do? Do you guys agree with me? What do you guys think? Do you think that this is just going to stall her proceedings more? Or do you think that, like I said, if I was the prosecutor, once this motions hearing is complete, I would be jumping all over it. She's far from incompetent. She's playing a game, and this just proves it. For her to mastermind something like that, she's not incompetent. Miss Tina, I don't think, like I said, if this is true, Mark Means right now filed this motion because of what Lori told him. So if this is true, as a lawyer, okay, and I've worked for many, you have to file this. You would be incompetent if you didn't. You have to believe your client. So with this, I would say that this is probably one of the ones that I would agree with him filing. And with him filing this is going to bring it out into the open. This is where we are going to find out how competent Lori actually is. So I agree with this motion, whether she lied about it or not, this is going to blow her out of the water. Okay? Because if she masterminded this and she lied about this, then that shows her competency. She's doing whatever she can and taking revenge and stuff like this and masterminding plans. That shows competency. So this will backfire on her. So I agree with him bringing this motion. And only for that reason. And if it's true, I agree with it. But even if it's not, she just blew herself out of the water claiming that she's incompetent. Yep. Like I said, this is going to, if the prosecution can prove that this is not true, that she made this up, she just blew her incompetency right out of the water. So thank you, Mark Means, for filing this, because it's going to go in front of a judge. And I'm praying to God, you guys, that the prosecution uses this in their favor. If she can, this is not true, we can prove it. And she masterminded this plan. She's not incompetent. Get her back into the court system. No more cushiony bed for her and everything else. No one is safe from this woman. She's a master manipulator, and I've said right from the beginning, she's far from being incompetent, but she pulled that off to get sent to into this facility. Well, she just probably blew that right out of the water, and she did it on her own. She ratted herself out, because if this is proven not to be true, then she just blew her incompetency out the window. She came from Planet Claire. I sure would hate to share a bedroom or cell with her. Imagine. I think that she is kept separate from everybody else. But can you imagine? Could that be? Amy says, I honestly feel she's a devil, right? Like, this is one sick individual, and this is her own. You know what I mean? It's like you killed your own children. You were part of it. Even if you didn't have a hand in the actual killing of them, you conspired. So Nana says, everything in the hospital is recorded except the bathroom. All phone calls are recorded, so we will see. Yeah, so I'm hoping this conversation with this doctor or whatever it is that she apparently had this conversation with, I hope that that's recorded too, because we know that there's a lot there with, I don't know if it's recorded because there's privacy issues, right? Between you and your lawyer, between you and your pastor or priest, between you and your doctor. So I don't know if they can record that. I don't think Lori actually had a hand in pulling a trigger or stabbing someone or something like that, but I believe she was involved with a conspiracy to do it. But I don't think she had blood on her hands to say that she is a trigger person or the one that held the knife that stabbed. But yes, she's involved, but she's not the one who did the actual killing. Doesn't make her any more or less culpable. So she's still to blame, 100%. But I don't think she was ever one to pull a trigger or use a weapon to do the actual killings. Yes, so doctors can make a recording or whatever of it. Okay. Yes. Oops. Yes, she is one of the main conspirators. Yes, absolutely. But I don't think she's the actual one who pulled the trigger or stabbed or used the weapon. She had her brother and her husband do that stuff. So, hello, Panda Berry. Hello, be kind. Hello to everybody. I'm sorry if I missed your name in here. But I'm on the Streamlabs part here, so sometimes the chat goes really fast on me and I don't get to see everybody coming in, so please don't take it personally. I love each and every one of you. Okay, so Tammy Lawson says, I thought she's the one that ended poor sweet JJ's life. Don't forget, I don't know, because as far as we know, Alex took JJ, right? So we don't know. That's all going to come out in the trials, you guys. Oh, she's more than an accomplice, Panda Berry. She's a conspirator. She planned these murders right along with her brother Alex and Chad. Miss Tina states, who's to say that Lori didn't tell her caseworker, NC, that she didn't feel like her attorney was helping her? Okay, let's take that part first. If that's the case, Yes, I can see her lawyers or her caseworkers saying, you know, like, we can give you some numbers, you know, to call for other lawyers if that's what you need. But I don't believe that that caseworker would have told her to call LDS, because that's what she is there for. They're there to get that LDS commissioning that they've got in her head out of her head, right? The idealistics and all this surrounded with the LDS church, they're trying to get her away from that. So absolutely 100%, they would never tell her to call the LDS church. Absolutely not. Give her other numbers that she could call for other attorneys? Yes. I don't even know if they are able to do that. I don't know how it works with that, but they could give her a list of attorneys that she could call, you know, like, and not specific attorneys only. Like, here's some pages from the phone book, take your pick. But if she's incompetent, how could they allow her to do that, right? So I think that's a very touchy subject to begin with, but I do not see, she is there to get the LDS community out of her brain, to make her competent, to show her that those idealistics and what they believe in aren't true, are detrimental to anybody's life. And whatever they're trying to do to get her away from that, the last thing they're going to do is tell her to call them. So that's just my opinion, you guys. Marie Burks feels that she took part in all the murders. Very possible, too. Very possible. Yeah. If you allow your doctors to testify, yes, they can. But if you don't, they can't. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. But I just can't see NC telling her to call the LDS when that's what they're trying to get her away from and get out of her head to make her competent. Bonnie says that she killed JJ because she didn't get the money, but he was a zombie, so she was going to kill him anyway. Yeah, a lot of different opinions. Yes, exactly. Especially for somebody like Lori. I can't see any doctor or any professional breaking ethics to lose their license. Absolutely not. Now, the thing is, let's put a different spin on this. If Lori called the LDS church on her own and said a bunch of stuff to them, they can absolutely tell Wood about it. Yes, sometimes they do say the wrong thing. But the thing, Rosie, that I'm having a hard time with is she is there to make her competent again. And what is making her incompetent is her beliefs and ideals from the LDS church. Okay? That they're saying that is the basis for her being incompetent, is because of the ideals and beliefs and everything of the LDS church. So I cannot see any physician, doctor, counselor, anything telling her to call them for advice when they are directly the ones that this is all about, that they are trying to get her away from. Yes, we do have the best members and subs. So anybody that's coming in now that wasn't here, memberships are going to be available again as of Monday. You might want to go and check them out. There's a base level where you get your wings and certain emojis, and you get a little thing beside your name there showing that you're a member of the channel. Also, there's a second level where maybe once or twice a month, I will be doing those member only lives for that level, where I'm going to be doing contests and giveaways and free mini read polls, stuff like that. And that's all going to be for level 2, as well as everything you get in level 1 too. So that's going to be starting as of Monday, because a lot of you have been asking for the memberships back. Okay, so my understanding is that a hospital has a list of phone numbers that she can call. Okay. That could very well be true. Rosie, no, I'm not saying that all LDS are insane. I'm not saying that at all. I have nothing against the LDS community. But what I am saying is, I think that, oh, did you guys hear that Chad has been thrown out of the LDS church? He's been ejected. They've thrown him out. He's not allowed. Um, so I'm not saying anything against the LDS. What I'm saying is Lori's perception of their teachings and what Chad went above and outside of that she's believing in that are connected to the LDS. Okay. That's what they are trying to get her away from. Right. I just seen this. Her ideals aren't 100% LDS. Her beliefs are based on Chad's crazy beliefs. Yes, exactly. So that's why the LDS church has now ejected Chad. He's not allowed. No, no. He gets no benefits, no nothing. They want nothing more to do with him. Yes, very good move on the LDS because they gave them a bad name. Excommunicated. Yes, he was. Yes, and it took them a long time to excommunicate. I think that they have very strict guidelines for excommunication with individuals, especially with somebody like Chad, that they really stood behind for a lot of years. So for them to excommunicate him, oh yes, they've thrown him right out of there. That's right. So it's unethical of the therapist to suggest that she calls the LDS. No, he was just kicked out recently. I believe the last communication they sent to him was at late 2020. Oh, were they? Okay. She came from Planet Claire. Yes. Chad's excommunication papers were on another channel yesterday. Okay. Yeah, and I know it happened. There was 2 letters that were sent to him that he never actually received. They weren't given to him in jail until recently. But the last one was late 2020 where they excommunicated him, and they made that quite clear that he was no longer welcome there. So there you go. So this case, you guys, now let me see here. Now, if nothing else comes up, what we have coming up next, you guys, is Letitia Stout. She's back in court on November 4th. And that's to enter her plea. Then we have Barry is back in court on November 9th, and that's a status conference and motions hearing. And I believe Barry's, it's in my other book. Barry's trial is to begin in May. Now, I don't know when Chad Daybell is back in court. I can look it up. Do you guys want me to look up when he's back in court next? I don't have when Lori is back yet. I am watching for that. Let me just see here. Yeah, see, Chad's trial was supposed to start in late November, and that's all been vacated. So he's not going to be going through until next year. Okay, so let's look up when Chad is back in court. Give me 2 seconds here, you guys. Idaho. Crap. Okay, hang on. Just give me a second. You guys got to look up his case number. I got it. Ah. Okay, Vine is currently offline, so I can't check it right now. But I will look into that, you guys. I will mark it down here for Monday. I'm just writing myself a note because you guys know my memory. I thought that he was back in court in November. I know Barry. Okay, so Letitia's on the 4th. Barry's on the 9th. No, I don't have him. So I will have to look up Chad to see when on Monday, when Vine is back up, hopefully, and running, when his next court date is. And I'm watching for this court date to be set for this motions hearing on Lori. So I'll be checking that on Monday too. And I will bring those all to you, stream them to you if you guys want to see them. I know everybody's going to want to see the Barry Morphew one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream it, but I should be able to give you the information as it's coming out of the courtroom. Letitia's, I am able to stream, so we will be able to see that crazy one. It's just how long that these cases are taking. Don't forget that Letitia was initially, her trial was supposed to already have been started long ago. And then she decided she didn't want to represent herself again. So now they had to set a new trial date with this lawyer and blah, 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 blah. Chad's was set to go forward. It was supposed to start mid-November and run into late December. I've got it here until December 18th. It was supposed to go to from, I think, the 18th or something of November. But then the prosecution filed that they were going to seek the death penalty, and that changed everything. So now he has to get a death case penalty lawyer. So that threw that trial out the window. So much for having a trial date set for Chad. I don't know why the prosecution wouldn't have filed that to begin with, that they were going to seek the death penalty. So all this could have been avoided. But his trial was supposed to start, you guys, this coming month, and it got thrown out. It's been vacated because the prosecution threw in, after that trial date was set, the prosecution then filed that they were going to be seeking the death penalty. Yeah, for sure, crime and justice. And then when you get, you get a trial date set, and then the prosecution turns around and files that they're going to, seek the death penalty. Well, now that trial date that was just set is no more, right? So, I don't know, you guys. So is there anything else you guys want to touch on before we end? Let me just... I agree, Shivani. Lori was acting with evil intentions before she even met Chad. Yeah. Okay, so I see that you guys do want me to stream those court cases. So I will do that, because there were some that were saying get back to doing just readings. I guess a lot of them were here for readings and not for updates like this. So Okay, so Marie Burks is saying if you check out Al Mum channel, she is an ex-LDS member who was born into the church. She goes into a lot about old teachings of the LDS religion and is spot on. Okay. So if you want to know about the LDS religion, you could check out Al Mum channel. Yeah, Bonnie says in the police interviews, there's names coming out that I hadn't heard of. Yeah. Yes. So I don't know what would happen there, Judy. Judy says, how can Mark Means' motion to disqualify the Department of Health? Isn't she placed under their care? Yes. So we don't know what's going to happen with that. Rosie, no, I haven't done any more on Chloe or Cleo. I keep saying Chloe. Oh, Cindy, I haven't heard about that either. I don't know how much faith I put in Zulema either with, speaking about somebody who's not here to defend themselves, right? And I'm not saying that in a way that, he deserves to be heard or whatever, but I'm saying they could say anything about Alex right now, and he's not here to say that didn't happen. You know what I mean? So I don't know how much I would believe of her. Oh, thank you, CC Cummings. I appreciate that. And Chartreuse Seeker, thank you. Well, to each their own, I guess. A lot, if that's why I think I'm going to do more direct thumbnails. So those who don't want to watch the updates like this and court proceedings and stuff, they're only here for the readings, then they will know that that's not one that they want to watch. Because I do have, it's like 50-50 almost, like 50-50 want both, and some just want the readings. So Cindy says the interview was pretty shocking, and I do believe it. Yeah. But don't forget, I think Zulema I think there was a lot of talk of maybe her being part of a lot of it too. So her trying to, I don't know. I don't know what to believe. Yeah, the Zulema one. I don't know what to believe coming from her because she's out to protect her butt too. Because I think at one point they were trying to connect her to these killings also. Nana says, how do I get Lori's schedule at hospital to Willow? You can email me, Nana. I will put my email. You can just copy this and paste it into an email. Cindy says, yeah, she's crazy a bit too, but the story about him thinking to kill her sounds true. I don't know. I haven't seen the interviews, so I'm just really leery on all of them at this point, especially when it comes to Alex, because he's not here to say that's not true. You know what I mean? Not that he deserves that, but. Well, thank you, Harry Cow. I'm glad that you like them. Yeah, for private readings only, but if I ask you to contact me to send me whatever, you can. So, Nana, you can send that along to me via my email. So Maria, there's a different view. Thank you, Will. You're awesome. Please cover the hearings. In my opinion, Zulema is just as involved as the others. So we got both ends of the spectrum there. We got some that believe that, she's being truthful, and we got others believing that she is involved. And I'm not really sure what I think about that right now. Yeah, Bonnie Baker says Alex will probably lie anyway. Absolutely. I think they're all liars for their own benefits. So I think Zulema was a professional cuddler. Odd. A professional cuddler. Okay, so I think we're going to wrap this up, you guys. And I will keep you up to date. I am going to be checking Vine when it's back online on Monday, and be getting those court dates. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, the 28th. Thursday, November 4th, Letitia is back in court. So that's the next one we are covering. That's a new one, a professional cuddler, right? Murray Fisher says, is there another name for that? Yeah, crazy. Oops, did I say that out loud? Excuse me. Professional protester. Rosie said that's another new one she's heard lately. Professional protester. Okay, so like I said, Thursday, this coming Thursday, we are going to be covering the Letitia Stout. I can stream that, so we're going to be able to see Crazy. She is going to be entering a plea, and there's going to be court dates and everything else set. So we should, on November 4th, please be there. We should also have a trial date set that day too, once she enters her plea. And then the next one after that is the following Tuesday, the 9th of November, is Barry Morphew is back in court for a status conference and motions hearing. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go for now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. There's going to be a lot of new things coming. I think I may also bring back the mini reads that I used to do on Saturdays or Sundays. I'm going to be putting out a poll to see if you guys want that again. I'm going to be bringing back a lot of new things. But like I said, the memberships will be available as of Monday. Okay, and there's 2 different levels there. The second level is a little bit more expensive, but with that, you're going to get the members only for that level will be able to come into a couple of lives a month that I'm going to do. And I'm going to do free card pulls or pendulum questions for you guys. I'm going to have sweatshirt giveaways, stuff like that for those members on the second tier. Okay, so check that out on Monday. They will be available. And if anything else comes up, I will jump on and, of course, bring it to you guys live. Thank you, CC Cummings. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, too. My mods, thank you so much for being here. Also, you guys, I think I have also looked in for those of you who like my sweatshirts and everything. I'm going to see if I can connect before I get rid of Bonfire. They've begged me to give it a chance and put that also on to my YouTube channel, so you guys have a direct link to it on my merch shelf, make a merch shelf. So I'll probably be doing that and giving them another chance. If I can do that, if I can get that set up and see how it goes for the month. And if not, I will be switching companies. So there's going to be a lot of new things coming out in November, you guys. So keep watch, make sure you're subscribed so you get all these updates. And I will see you guys all very soon. Thank you very much to my mods. Thank you to each and every one of you. Love you guys to the moon and back. Till the next time, please take care of yourselves and please stay safe. Bye-bye for now.